Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane. Today is the release week of this game right here. We have Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. If you were a Stonemaier champion, you might have already had this for a little bit, or if you're watching this far into the future, you may have already had this for a bit, but it's release week for this game, and I think it's natural when we're talking about something new, you know, we have some fun with it and then we start talking about what's next, right? Maybe that's a bad thing, I don't know, but in this case it's good because we want Stonemaier to keep making games, right? So I thought we would talk about what's coming next for Stonemaier. We know that we have the modular board coming. We've talked about that a few episodes in a row now, I think, and one thing that was kind of cool that got mentioned in the latest Facebook live stream was someone had asked about those bonus tiles, or those building bonus tiles. There's a name for it and I'm drawing a blank, but anyway, inside where you have your bonus, your structure, there we go, your structure bonus, those tiles, they're gonna probably, if Jamie decides to make them, instead of them being a separate promo or something that you have to purchase, it's probably just gonna be in the modular board box, which, more added value, what's not to love about that? The second thing, we have the metal mechs. We know those are coming. I don't know when those are coming, but those are coming. We've heard about them for a little while. I know Jamie's had a couple of samples. He's happy with them. I would imagine that they're probably going to go on sale here pretty soon, if not already by the time you see this in the future. I always think in the show in terms of right now, this week, and I know that's just not the way online content is, but I guess I'm going off on a tangent here. So that's the stuff we for sure know about. We also know about Euphoria, the expansion for Euphoria, Ignorance is Bliss. I don't know if that's the final title, but that's what Morton had mentioned in the BGG forums after the work that he had been doing on it kind of went off the rails. He scaled back, refocused, and Ignorance is Bliss is what's coming from that. It includes Automa. It includes, you know, new buildings. I think Jamie had mentioned that it was kind of an expansion where you just add more of what we already know. Like, there's not going to be any radical new mechanic or something. So if you like Euphoria, then this is great news. If you're kind of on the fence about Euphoria because maybe you're a gamer like me who plays a lot of solo, then, you know, that is something that you're missing, and this is going to add it. And having actually played a few games with the Automa, it's really, really good. Really clever. I think Morton and Team Automa did a fantastic job on it. That's the stuff we know about. The stuff, I'm going to just go ahead and grab my notes here because my memory is not that good. Continuing the conversation on what's next for Stonemaier Games, Jamie had mentioned he's going to start talking about the next project probably in December. So as of right now, we got maybe a month and a half before that is a thing that we're all talking about. But here's what we know. If you subscribe to the newsletter, you're probably familiar with this image right here. It is not necessarily a release calendar. And if by chance, I guess I should just warn you now, if you see flashes of light, it's not paparazzi. I've not made it, anything like that. We got a little storm going on outside, so if you hear thunder too, that might be a thing, but we're just going to keep going until something happens. So we got Euphoria, we have the metal mechs. Let's talk these code names. We have code names in this release calendar graphic, and now I've got a dog in my lap. Why not? Let's just keep going. Gracie, please beat it. Come on, go. All right, we're just gonna roll with it, all right? Maybe that's Gracie. She's my dog. We have some code names that we know about. We got Peregrine. What's Peregrine? Besides the fact that we don't know, Peregrine's a falcon. It's a type of bird. We have seen on Instagram, Jamie has posted some bird eggs, saying that they were components for a future game. When we were talking about what could combo be, you know, I thought maybe the eggs had something to do with that. It didn't. Combo turned out to be that Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. And Peregrine, we don't know. I mean, it's bird related. We have eggs. Has Jamie made some kind of deal with the guys from Duck Dynasty? I don't know. Is it a Nintendo's 80s throwback Duck Hunt game, but with eggs? Again, I don't know. Let's look at what we do know, though. According to this graphic, right now, and none of these dates are final, so don't get confused by that. Q1 is what Codename Peregrine is currently looking to release at. It is in pre-production's done. The components are done. Print and assembly is in process. So I mean, Q1, me not knowing a whole lot about the process, Q1 seems reasonable for something that's already being assembled. So that's cool. Maybe that's what Jamie is going to start talking about in December. I mean, it makes sense that you would want to hype your first quarter release. So yeah, another thing that was kind of bird related that showed up on Instagram was Jamie had posted a box of components and there was large bird minis. Now, I do think that they looked like the bird minis from, it's a Plaid Hat Games game, Tail Feathers, like a bird combat game in the Mice and Mystics universe. Yeah, so that's Peregrine. What it becomes, what it is right now, I don't know. The next one we have is Codename Clay. I'm going to say I believe Clay is probably the Civilization game Jamie's working on, and here's why. Really only they talk about like, oh, we built the empire up from clay, or clay is part of making bricks and you're building something, and so it's a very kind of just loose interpretation by me. I'm going to say it's the Civ game. So when I look at what we know about the Civ game so far, in Jamie's previous videos, he's mentioned set collection was at one point a part of it, may still be a part of it, but what he wanted to include was, he had mentioned that Euphoria, while it's a great game, it's probably one of his least favorite games of his to teach because of the different systems and how they interact, but they, you need stone for this, but how do you get stone? It's a part of this other system that produces stone, or this other mechanic that produces it. So what he has mentioned about his Civ game is he's really happy with the simplicity in terms of there's a very easy to learn common rule set or core rule set, and the complexity is added by as your civilization comes up and as it gets grows and becomes, I guess, more advanced, then the rules and that type of stuff become more advanced. So that is what I believe is Codename Clay, the Civ game that he's been working on. The next one is Codename Sand, and Codename Sand says that it's in the status, according to the graphic, is in design and development is complete, and they're working on art, blind playtesting, and solo design. That means it's in the hands of Team Automa, and they're working on it, and currently producing art, and just, I guess, getting it out there in front of the playtesters and seeing what they think. I have no idea what Codename Sand is. What about you? Is it a desert game? Is it a tile laying game? I know Jamie enjoys the Forbidden Island games. There's Forbidden Desert, so something sand related. He likes race games. Is it like Camel Up? Is it some kind of race game? So that's Codename Sand. And my dog is visiting again because it's storming and she's scared. And maybe you can't see her yet, but she's right here at my feet. The game that we know the most about, at least that I've been able to discover the most about, is Codename Wild, or at least I think so. I think Codename Wild is the open world exploration co-op game that Jamie's been working on. He is mentioned in several of his videos, and if you really want to, I can like hunt down all the sources I pulled for this, but he's mentioned that it's not a legacy game, but it does have persistence if you want it to. So you can take what you've done in one game and carry it over into the next, or if you just want to play it as a one-off and you don't want that building blocks, or like it's not even legacy like Charterstone where there's that permanence. It's very much just a type of situation where, I don't know, if maybe you discover a compass or a map. Maps are also something that has come up in the descriptions or the discussions he's had about this game, in that he likes games with maps and maps within maps. So maybe you have a large open world map that you're playing on, and then you have a smaller, you know, area map. And another cool thing about, I'm just going to call it Wild. Maybe I should just call it Open World Civ, since I don't know the code name exactly. But another thing that he mentioned that was cool about it was he wanted multiple ways to get to the same place. You create online discussions similar to video games where, you know, I might get to this temple one way and you might get to this temple another way, in a completely roundabout way. Maybe you met somebody in game that's already been there and told you about it, and maybe I was just wandering through a jungle or something and found it. He wants to foster that kind of online communication in that game where where that discussion is, how'd you get there? How'd you do it? And so that's what we know about Codename Wild, or Codename, or the open world Civ game. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot to look forward to. Oh, wait, I just remembered. We got one more codename that just got announced this October newsletter, and it's Codename Cape. Now, obviously, since this is brand new to the list, we have no idea what Codename Cape is. Is it a superhero game? I think Cape. And I think superheroes. So is it a superhero game? Is it a Cape Cod? Is it a house type? Do we have a real estate game? Jamie really likes Welcome To, and maybe he's working on a game in that vein too. What do you think Codename Cape is? I'm interested. I mean, I'm interested in all of it. So that's kind of what we have coming from Stonemaier Games. Do you think I got any of these codenames wrong? Do you think maybe Clay is the exploration game? Do you think, you know, do you have a different idea for Sand? I mean, what have you imagined that those codenames represented? Go ahead and leave a comment in the comments, and drop a like or a subscribe if you haven't already done so. I am really appreciative to all of you that have, you know, watched the videos and commented and left feedback. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys in the comments. So make sure you let me know what you got one way or the other. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. There's so much craziness going on outside the window. Are you gonna be my mascot? Are you gonna be a part of it?
Gracie.
Jamie's got Walter and Biddy, and I got Gracie and Fiona. All right, go on. Go see Mom.